Okay, here we are at the marina in La Gomera, and if Chris will just take a little pan down the line, you can see all the boats here waiting on this contrary weather to start the race. So we thought it might be a good opportunity to give you a little tour of the boat. It's 28 foot long, 2 cabins, one in the back, one in the front, 2 sleep in the back, 2 in the front. The front cabin, you can actually, 2 people can lay flat without being covered by anything. In the aft cabin, the back cabin, the bottom half of your body slides under the deck. But Archie and myself are in the back. The front is JD and Peter. The reason for that is myself and JD row, giving Peter and Archie a break. And then when we swap around for the next 2 hours, so it's the vice versa. So everybody has the cabin to themselves when they're off. Now we'll take a look. Here's our solar panels, our VHF antennas, our AIS antenna. An AIS system tells us if any boats are within range, VHF range, and they'll see us by an emergency ping on their GPS. So it's just a protective mechanism. This here is a transponder. It's put on by the race committee. If we trouble that or interfere with it or lose it, we're disqualified from the race. Now that tells us, will tell everybody in the world where we are at any given time. That's the masthead light. We turn that on at night so people will see us. We have 2 compasses, one there and one there. We also have some 2 rod holders, do a little fishing, try and stay away from that freeze-dried food as much as possible. Let's go forward a bit. We modified ours a bit. The gauges that you see there were here. We moved them, put them up there, and we put a lay-down lean back here, as you can see. If we go next door to our neighbor's boat here, you see they still have the gauges on the other side. So that takes away a lot of comfort space. Everybody's seen ours and they're envious. 3 rowing positions. They roll up and down. I'll show you. These roll, one here, one there, and one up front. These are your foot pads. The oars are on either side. 4 pairs. Emergency life raft. That's our flare box, but we've using it instead for our seasoning for the cooking. Okay, before we go in the cabin, that bag there is a sea anchor. This one here, it's all rigged and tied and ready to go. It's a parachute, and if the weather gets bad, we stick it out and we storm it out in the cabins. Or if a man falls overboard and you want to stop the boat quickly, you deploy that. Under here we have some nice high-tech equipment. It's called an E5 fuel cell. It converts methanol in here, this is the machine, into energy. So if we need more power or it's been cloudy for a while, this is our water maker down in there. Okay, brand new. That makes us water, and hopefully it won't break down, or we're going to be using another means. Let's do the first cabin first. Up here, let's do this one. This is the forward cabin. This is where JD and Peter stay. It's about 6.5 feet long. It's actually quite comfortable. It's a refuge in bad weather or a place to rest when you're not rowing. It has, we have a satellite phone there and one behind to keep in touch with the world. Expensive, but necessary. Okay, these bottles are pee bottles. You never stand up and pee out there because that's one of the commonest causes of being lost overboard. You fall over. So you pee into these and empty them over the side and put it back. You do all of this sitting down, you don't do it standing up. Strictly against the rules. These compartments here is where we keep our food. They're freeze-dried packs. And what you do is you boil water, throw it in, leave it for 10 minutes, and then eat it. This compartment is all breakfast. They're all high calorie, and if necessary you can get up to 5,000 calories a day from them. But they don't taste very well. This is our name, the boat name, Wa'omoni. It's the Amerindian name for Barbuda, meaning island of large birds, probably referring to the frigate birds, the Arawak name. Registered in Antigua, the home port is English Harbour. Down below is our logo, the frigate bird in a compass. See the north pointing triangle and the ocean in the middle. It's actually registered, so I don't want to see anybody using it.
This is Atlantic Campaigns radio check. Over.
How big you think the marlin is?
That's about 500 pounds. Okay. Alright. You alright. You want me to do? They tell you.
Turn the boat up.
500 pounds.
Where you going?
Christmas Eve, sunrise. Antigua's about 2,500 miles that way.
We got some cookies thanks to Jennifer and Michelle, and some candy canes thanks to Mom. So it's gonna be a good day.
here we go. We have our bottle of rum for Christmas. Archie! Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Cap. Can I have a drink?
You can have all. You drink the whole bottle.
Oh no, just a sip.
Okay, folks. This is the aft cabin. Aft cabin. If I don't say it correctly, Peter will curse me. Belongs to Archie and myself. This little piece is Archie. That's me. Now, it's also the electronic center for the boat. The bad thing about this cabin, it's more confined. And when you get those big 20-foot growlers coming up behind you and start to cap, they cap in and come through here and soak the bed. That's why I have this towel in case one catch up on us right now. And it's just total misery for a few days until you dry it out. Okay, let's carry you through a few odds and ends. That's our GPS chart plotter. Here's Africa. There are the Canaries where we left from. And these are our waypoints which we plotted in coming across the Atlantic to Antigua here. And as you can see, we're pretty much on course. That's only been possible as of today. We've been steering 270, as you can see here. That's the boat. We're about almost halfway across the Atlantic. Another 2 days, 3 days, hopefully we'll be there. That's the boat there. Down here, way down here, the Cape Verde Islands. We don't want to go there. Although the Americans that seem to have some sort of confusion and abandoning ship for whatever reason, they ended up there, 2 of them. And I understand that they capsized twice today. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, let's move on. 12-volt supplies. If you have 12 volts, computers, iPads. VHF and AIS. VHF is communicating with ships nearby and radio. AIS, if a ship comes within radio range, we'll see it come up here and this gives us an alarm, and you touch it and it'll tell us the name of the ship and where it's going and everything about it. And they can see us too. These are our battery monitors. The battery power right now is down a little bit above 40% on each. The voltage is just under 12. A little low right now because it's the end of the day and the sun's going down and we've been using it all day. Up here are the various breaker switches for all our different instruments. Bilge pumps, VHF, chart plotter, all kinds of things. Mast headlights, JD's 12-volt supply so he can charge all his gadgets. And that's basically it. If you want, back here is the rudder compartment. I'll show that to you quickly. Come on, you. And down below you'll see the rudder post with the tiller and the steering ram. It's a mechanical ram. And if you pay attention, I'll keep my mouth shut in a second, you'll see the most ungodly noise it makes 24/7. And that's the grinding from the mechanical. The only thing worse on board is Archie's snoring. And I'm going to do so. I'm going to take in my George Roberts when I get home and get his turbinates cleaned out. Apart from that, it's as close to home as we're going to get. And we have no complaints, do we, Mr. Bailey? No complaints?
No complaint.
Couple nights ago, I in here and Archie doing the shift, blowing about 25 knots, pitch black, and all I hear is easy jet, easy jet. And every time I hear that, I see pulling on the hose going down the road. I say, Archie, what have to do? He's an easy jet. Down the road at 4 knots, boy, tearing up the whole locks like he wanted to break up the boat.
Got up this morning and put a line out, and we finally caught some fish. The first fish got away, and then Archie set back out another lure and caught one. So thank God, you know, finally have some nice fresh fish that we can eat some pasta. So Archie's cooking up right now. Ducks on the oars. Fish marinating right here. looking good. It's very windy out here right now, as you see. I don't think this GoPro is doing it any justice, but it is quite wavy out here today. It's definitely big swells. My dad messaged me on InReach to tell me that a boat rolled last night, so you know, that's give you some good idea how big the swells are.
This last week has been a really full-on week in terms of the weather. It's been blowing 20-25 knots, 20-foot seas with breaking crest, which I've actually boarded a boat on more than several, half dozen times.
Wow, look at that. That looks like Hawaii 5-0. Wow. That was one in about 50, 60. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, that's going to come in.
We're here at the sea anchor waiting for the breeze to come back around after that real crappy storm for 2 days. Just got out the cabin today. We're waiting for the wind to come back from the northwest. As you can see, it's not there. Here we have a visitor. Big old shark. Okay, we got a couple dolphin, 4 to be exact. Then we're gonna have fried fish, fried dolphin head, maybe some soup. Woo!
Okay, so yesterday was a bit of a downer for all of us. We lost our second ram and we were a bit on the downside, but in the afternoon everything got cheered up, played some music. Archie and Peter smoked up the dance floor on the boat. Today it's very calm, as you see, extremely calm. I would say 5 knots of wind blowing. Archie cooked up again. I helped him this time. You see Doc and Peter relaxing behind there.
Finishing with dolphin head soup.
Now, actually, I think we're gonna go for a swim. We're nominating who's gonna go in first. Archie said that he'll go in first.
Captain, I'm man overboard.
Going for a swim in the middle of the Atlantic.
Go ahead.
Archie, safe? Good?
Blue. You're going.
Taking a swimming out in the Atlantic for the second day in a row, just beautiful. There's JD and Archie looking at some fish that we're not sure of. Grey with completely circular yellow bands all around. We've been with us for most of the day.
Alright, so it's fairly calm-ish day out here. It's been fairly hard rowing and not enough, I guess, wind, and it's just been really crappy. Boat's been moving really slow. We had to look over the side and there's quite a bit of barnacles there. So Doc and Archie are knocking a quick clean. Hopefully we can get some speed up. And this morning we woke up nice and calm. Had some breakfast and then decided to try and do some rowing when we found out we had some trouble. Trying to steer the boat was quite hard, and figured that we had rudder trouble, so Doc jumped in really quickly. I don't even think he got his hair wet. Grabbed the rudder, shook it about while Peter held the tiller, and realized that we had some trouble.
The sleeve that goes over the carbon fiber rudder post totally separated from the actual carbon fiber rubber post, and the steerage we couldn't get any steerage at all because of that. Fortunately, we also had some underwater epoxy, and we stuffed it down inside the rudder post and the new one. They're hollow carbon fiber poles to strengthen it. And that dried like rock in about an hour. We re-drilled it, put it back on, and we're going to pay very close and gentle attention to it, and hopefully we'll get to Antigua safely. We also noticed that in the tiller itself, there's a Delron?
Delron, yeah.
A Delron, a plastic-like fitting that attaches to the rudder post and then the tiller arm itself, and that has a big crack in it too. So I think that's primarily just related to the two storms we had. The one about 5 days out of La Gomera, about 10 days. What is it? 10 days? It wasn't a bad storm, but certainly enough to put us in Sianka for 2 days. And this one we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yesterday. I've been boating all my life. All of us have been boating. Peter sailed the Atlantic, Archie's fished all over. None of us have seen anything like that. Never really felt life-threatening. I guess because we have a little experience, but we've never seen waves like that. They were as high as the boat is long, and the boat's 28 foot long. And a lot of wind. I think anywhere from 35 to 50, but that's debatable, miles per hour. And that lasted for 2.5 days. And we decided to get up, and once we fixed the rudder today, we're going rowing. Archie and Peter going to try and make 5 knots in real crappy squally weather. Here they are. Easy jet, let's go!
Easy jet.
Easy jet! Down the road! 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, 4.4, 4.5, 4.6, 4.7. Easy jet, let's go. 4.6, 4.7, 4.8, 4.9, 4.9, 4.8. Let's go, let's go. 4.7, 4.8, 4.9, 4.9, 4.9, 4.9, 4.9. Let's go. No. 4.9. 5. He just bust a 5. Good one. See, Peter's still alive. Peter is still alive.
Archie, what do you miss most at home?
I miss my family. That's the truth. But out here is so quiet, peacefully. Couldn't be no better.
Nice nights with all the stars.
It's like you're in heaven out here. Some days the rowing a little difficult. The wind and the seas. But it's a challenge. And that's the fact.
Yesterday was a bit of a hard day, in particular for me, because we had a wave hit us beam on, rolled the boat, and at the same time another wave hit the transom and set the boat forward like a sledge. And just locked the oar in, and then the oar kicked out and just took the skin right off my right shin. So it's not a problem, it's bandaged up and we're moving on. The weather right now, the seas have gone down a little, and we're just rowing hard for Antigua.
Okay, today is turning out to be an exceptional day for us, one of the highlights of the trip. Reason being, those two things flying around up there. You see them? There are two frigate birds, and they found this boat and looked around and seen the dolphin, and they're getting flying fish when the dolphin chase them. Now, the nice thing about that is those birds are probably from Barbuda, and they've come 350 miles this way foraging for flying fish. And so that is our first real bond in 40 plus days to home sweet home. Hi, good morning. I believe this is day 53 of our trip. It's a very big day. It's going to be the last day of our trip, as Antigua is 20 miles ahead. It's now 6:30 in the morning, and we're heading straight down to English Harbour. It's becoming a very emotional time for us. The helicopter flew over us at sundown last night, and it was wonderful to see somebody and talk to somebody other than ourselves for this length of time. We're all in great spirits. It's been a fantastic trip, and we're very anxious to getting down to the Copper and Lumber store in English Harbour to see our families. We're all still friends and talking. No words spoken in anger for the last 53 days, no confrontations, no bad feelings, and just a wonderful experience and no regrets. And that's it. That's it for me.
and it's an absolutely beautiful, it's an amazing sight. The crowd out here, like you said, Alex, it was going to be pandemonium. And there you go, the champagne bottles have been popped. Yes.
This is just a sight to see. Family members, you know, they're of course happy to have him home. Happy to have him home.
This must be really overwhelming for them,
Yes.
Alex. I don't think they were expecting this. And I must say, you know, the charity that they went out there for was
Yes,
the St. John's
St. John's
Hospice.
Hospice.
And they have raised over $200,000
Wow.
in 50 plus days. And
That is
that's a record.
tremendous.
It is the
That is
largest
tremendous.
amount raised for
Tremendous,
charity
tremendous,
in such a
tremendous.
short space of time.
Yeah, the family members waving to Mr. Bailey, making that huge trip. I'm amazed. Mr. Bailey, how are you feeling? Finally home in Antigua.
I'm feeling real good, I'm telling you. This is a surprise. I never expect anything like this. But I think the people come out to see us because we do a wonderful job. Yeah. At times. Yeah. Yeah.
I understand you all even went through a little Hurricane Alex.
Hurricane Alex.
Yet I understand you all took the brunt of the storm.
Yes.
How was that coming through that?
We were further north and the wind was blowing like 30 to 50 knots. The sea is like 20 to 30 feet high. And the sea anchor hold it out for 2.5 days. It's unbelievable situation.
No. What made you want to be a part of this team, Archie, to go and do this challenge?
All my life, I spent all my life in the sea. And I always wanted to do something extreme, adventure. And this challenge come up, and I say, go for it.
Now, being on sea over 50 something days, when you actually came into the Nelson's dockyard, how were you feeling that you're finally home? Team Wadadli's home.
Ah, shocking. Very shocking. I don't even know what to say.
But now I'm hearing from the crowd, because of you guys, Team Wadadli, doing this now, some people always say they want to take challenge, they want to be a part of this challenge. So you kind of, you know, led the way for other people to want to be part of this challenge.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. Probably I might do it again in the next couple of days to come. Yeah.
Not right now.
Not right now. But it is a challenge, you know. You have to have faith, good team, and good crew, and you have to be honest. And well, from the time we leave Antigua, we never have no hard talk, no argument, and that is a good team.
Hi, Peter. Congratulations. Welcome home. How are you?
Thank you, thank you. We are fine, actually. It's been a long row. We had hoped for something like 40, 45 days. In actual fact, it's gone on to 53 days, I believe. So it's gone longer than we anticipated. Made it that little bit harder. But that was mainly due to bad weather.
And were you expecting this turnout here today?
What? Jesus, I said to somebody just now, NASA does a moonshot, they don't get this turnout.
We want to say welcome to you and congratulations to you guys. You truly are heroes for doing such an amazing thing, and of course for such an amazing charity as well, the St. John's Hospice. I know they really do appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you. It was a voyage of a lifetime, and somebody emailed me and said, Peter, this is the icing on your life cake.
Oh yes, it definitely is, I'm
and
sure.
that, I think that's summed it up well, actually.
All right, thank you so much, Peter. Enjoy
You're
the rest
welcome.
of your day.
Thank you, I will.
We're here with Mr. Fuller, another member of the Team Wadadli. You're here. Welcome home. Team Wadadli is home. How was it, Mr. Fuller? How was it on the water for 50 plus days?
It was challenging. We had our highs. We had a lot of lows, particularly with the storms. Beginnings of Hurricane Alex was a challenge. But we got on very well, no confrontations, and it was well worth it. Very well worth it.
Now, why, to the viewers and listeners right now, why you actually decided to take on this challenge? It's a grueling challenge.
It was a grueling challenge, but something I always wanted to do. You know, they've been coming here every 2 years.
That's right.
And I don't think I could do it much older. So I picked the crew and off we went. And it worked out.
Yes.
Had a wonderful time.
No, one thing I'm hearing in the crowd now, because you guys, Team Wadadli, made that trip, other Antiguans are thinking about it.
Well, my idea on that is I would like an Antiguan team to enter every year. They've made it annually now and it ends here. If they want to be competitive, they got to be young people. It can't be our age, unless they start a master's category, which they don't have.
You mentioned got to be young. What is the one thing that anybody want to take on this challenge should do? If you want to take on the Telescope Whiskey Challenge, what's the one thing, important thing they should know about it?
The most important thing, and all the rowers say this, 80% in your head. Don't worry about the big muscle guys. Don't worry about the fancy show and all of that. You want to do it. You have to want to do it, and you should be familiar with the sea, and you can do it. And perhaps more important than all of those, you have to be good temperament, so you can sit down with either 2 people if it's pairs or with 3 other people if it's fours, and don't go after each other and kill somebody before you reach in. It's a serious thing. It's happened, you know, knives have been pulled. But the proudest part of my row here is that not a single word was anger or confrontation. And we had a great trip. All
right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Fuller. No, one more thing. What you want to do? You're home now. What's the first thing you want to do? You're home now. Team Wadadli. So
we're going to walk into the Copper and Lumber store. 16-ounce steaks waiting for us, and we're going to eat them.
All right, thanks a lot. Somebody up there say hi. All right, Ali, take it away.
All right, so like we said, we're here at the historic Nelson Yard. It's all about the arrival of Team Wadadli. I'm here with JD Hall. Hi, JD. Congratulations. Welcome home.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Words can't describe the feeling that's going through right now. It's very emotional, but so happy to see Antigua. I mean, we woke up this morning and you know, coming off a shift that night, you just see a very faint glow in the distance. And you know, like, it's just a warm feeling of, man, that's home there in the distance, you know. Got up this morning and there it was, you know, and that alone was a huge boost for us to power down the road, you know. And then this morning we had a buzz from the helicopter at 8 o'clock and brought tears to everyone's eyes. You know.
Now, I was told that when you were asked initially, how many people do you think are going to be here for the arrival, you said 100.
Yeah. You know, like, it wasn't for doing it for any of this for fame or anything like that. It was personally for adventure and, you know, something, step out of the box and take a crazy adventure. And as I said, you know, none of this was on the thought of it. You know, I thought it was going to be family and maybe a few people, but you know, definitely nothing like this.
Definitely not at this magnitude.
No, definitely not.
Well, now that you're home, JD, what is one of the first things you want to do after all of this is over?
Have a shower. Have a shower and sleep in a nice bed. That's it. You know, eat a good meal. We've been eating packaged food for the last 50 plus days. You know, a good meal would be really nice right now. You know, so.
Okay, and what was those last 50 days like for you? What were they like?
It was. Some days were amazing. Swimming in the middle of the Atlantic, seeing whales, dolphins all around us. I don't know, man. We battled a storm which later turned into Hurricane Alex. We were locked inside our cabins for 48 hours. And then we went into another storm maybe a week and a half ago. You know, lots of thunder and lightning. You know, being on a tiny boat out there, it's definitely something, you know, that's going through your head like crazy. But it's definitely a warm feeling to be home.
And what would you say to other people who are maybe aspiring to do something like this? Because you guys have inspired so many who said, I do want to try this. What would you say to them?
Give it a try, you know, like step out of your shell, step out of your box, you know, go for it. You know, someone told me, you always remember the stupid things you do, you know, so I don't want to say this was a stupid thing, but, you know, this is definitely stepping out of my box, and it'll be definitely something for me to take down, you know, and tell grandkids about, and for the rest of my life, you know.
All right, mark it off the bucket list.
Definitely, for sure.
Well, thank you so much, JD. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Thank you.
I join with all gathered here this afternoon to extend a very warm welcome to Team Wadadli aboard Wow Morning. It was in 1896 that 2 Norwegians first rowed across the Atlantic Ocean. And 120 years later, 4 Antiguans and Barbudans have made history by completing the Atlantic crossing in just over 50 days. A journey described as one reserved for the brave and courageous. I must confess to you this afternoon that I could never achieve this feat, no matter how hard I tried. Because when Dr. Fuller first came to me to tell me about it, I said, are you sure you want to do this? He said, Rodney, I am sure. And I must say to you also that it was just a day or two ago, I got a call on my phone and someone said, Rodney. And believe it or not, it was Dr. Nicholas Fuller, my friend and colleague, and I was very happy to hear his voice. So it therefore gives my wife and I great pleasure as patron of Team Wadadli to publicly acknowledge the courage and compassion of these 4 citizens. Why do I say compassion? Because through their courageous efforts, Team Wadadli was able to raise over $200,000 for the St. John's Hospice here in Antigua and Barbuda. Their courageous efforts inspired persons at home and abroad to support the St. John Hospice, which brings dignity to persons who are terminally ill. I am confident that all Antigua and Barbuda will support my presentation this afternoon of certificates of national recognition for courage and compassion for these 4 courageous and compassionate citizens of our fair land. And I now call upon the members of Team Wadadli to stand where you are to receive these certificates of national recognition for courage and compassion. Thank you very much.
Guts and gumption. That's all I can say. These guys have guts and gumption. They've come back. And for them, Dr. Nick, to pick out St. John Hospice and survive 50 days of rowing on the ocean, and to come back and to have made hospice a household word in Antigua, because a lot of people didn't know what it meant. A lot of people didn't know we were there. He has taken it to the all of Antigua, and Antigua has rallied behind them and supported us all the way. Supported us. I thank each and every one of you as well. Thank you.
It started out just as a personal endeavor, a challenge which I've been thinking about for several years. And I made up a list of individuals I thought I would like to come with me. And it was a short list of about 10. And the first 4 or 5 said, not me, I'm not in that. And as I went down the list, I called Archie. I said, Archie, he's a good friend, we've fished together for years. I said, Archie, this is what I want to do. He says, I'm in. I said, no. I'm going to call you back in a week and think about it. He said, Doc, I'll come in. I said, no. He said, don't call me, I'm coming. And that was the end of that, Archie. Then I went to JD. Well, the issue there, Mom and Dad. His wife met my wife and said, tell your husband to leave my son alone because he's not going out there. Well, JD wanted to come, but they're a very close-knit family, very loving family, and very dependent. He came along and he made it, and he was a very strong force. Peter, he's been a friend of mine since he came here in the 70s, and he's sailed across the Atlantic several times in boats he's made. Just a lovely human being. And I said, Peter, he's a very knowledgeable guy, good navigator, knows everything about the sea. And I must admit, he's very handy with his hands, and that was part of it. And I said, Peter, you want to come? And he's a very pragmatic guy. He says, okay, show me what we're doing. Where are we going? I want to see the craft. And he came, he looked at it. He says, I'm in. And that was it.
Hospice does much for people who have needs which they cannot sometimes satisfy. They accept terminally ill patients into the hospice and care for them. And this, I think, is of great help to many families because sometimes they don't have the time nor sometimes the means to help their families who may be terminally ill.
The hospice is, as I envision it, a home away from home. It is allowing people to live to the fullest for every day they have left on earth, to make them as comfortable as they can, pain-free as possible.
The hospice is a place where relatives can bring their loved ones during the last days. They're not alone, and they're with people who will take very good care of them.
Hospice is a refuge for people who are terminally ill and for their families. It's a place where they can come and know that they will be taken care of with love and kindness and with dignity.
For some people, you can say maybe it's home away from home. Because when they're at home, especially if the relatives have to go out to work, they're going to have to leave them alone, and they don't want that. So they bring them someplace where they feel at home.
The patients have someone at hand at all times. They want a sip of water, it's there. They are turned frequently, if unable to do so themselves, to prevent bed sores. They are assisted by wheelchairs or the Hoyer lift that we have if they're unable to get up themselves, to get into a wheelchair, to move around, to come out into our common room or our garden. They can watch TV.
I would think it brings peace of mind to relatives when they know that they have their loved ones in a place that they're being taken good care of.
Oh, the hospice, that word brings so many pleasant memories. So many pleasant memories. It was a wonderful time. It was a critical point in my life where I needed care.
I'm seeing myself as a survivor because I never knew that I had prostate cancer, and I always believed, well, that would never attack me. My children decided to take me to the hospice, and it's there I survived.
For us to have had two people that actually get up and walk and go home has been amazing and very gratifying, but it is not the norm, and I would hate for anybody to think that it is.
They have qualified nurses, qualified housekeepers and caregivers, and they keep the place very clean and very healthy, and I'm very impressed with it.
They prepare excellent food. I spoke to them and tell them, well, they can't eat anything. They will give me a special diet, you know.
He cooks special meals for me, and as a result, I'm here. I'm here today. I'm here today, and I'm here to live to tell the tale.
We have people who volunteer with massage care. We have people who come and read if they would like to be read to. And visitors can come at any time. There is no restriction on time for visitors.
They have a garden, beautiful garden. We're able to go out and get sunlight, you know, and fresh air.
Caregivers are concerned for their loved ones, and they consequently want to do as much as they possibly can for them. Once you are accepted at hospice, you have reached that realization that you are terminal. The family realize that you are terminal. Therefore, you just want the best for that person.
If anybody has a terminal illness and they are diagnosed, I'd recommend that they go to the hospice because they get excellent care there.
For the one who may be ambivalent, you know, about going there, I would say go, because the experience that you will have will be a better one. Hospice is not a place, not just a place. It's a concept of care.